We had some notes here about Buckley, but I think we already covered about just about everything we can about that spinning back kick knockout. But the one thing that we haven't spoken about is where does this rank among all-time UFC knockouts? A bunch of people were saying against, even in the tweet, the UFC, I mean, they're looking for clicks. So they said best knockout of all time. I don't agree with that. I think just Edson Barbosa's spinning back kick knockout of Terry Edem is a better knockout than that. But where does that rank? What are some other knockouts that this really reminded you of?
It joins the all-time greats for sure. I mean, it's a perfect combination of, a powerful knockout that looked painful, but also like great technical skill showcase. I mean, something that comes to mind is like the Showtime kick. Just like this extremely entertaining show of something that we've never really seen like so spectacularly pulled off like that. And it's just
saying, the Showtime kick didn't finish Benson Henderson. That fight didn't end there. It knocked him down. He was hurt, but it wasn't over.
Whenever I see the clip, they always end the clip right after the
exactly. That's the point, because they don't want to show that it continued, which is unfortunate, right? It would have been legendary if it's more like the Terry Edem.
It's still pretty legendary.
And fall, but of course, it's still legendary. But
I'm trying to think. I mean,
obviously, there's like Jorge.
Yes, that's I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Jorge one was that it had the story behind it, right? This had story. Impa was hyped, but the Jorge one was like there's so much hype behind the fight. It was just.
Yeah. And I think there's something to that. It's incredible to see a knockout like this from those prelim fighters or fighters that are up and coming and good prospects. It's super entertaining and like feeds a lot into their image. But if you're a big name, it just propels you to another level. Like Connor Aldo, Showtime Wonderboy.
I was gonna say James Vick getting his soul taken by Justin Gaethje. Or I mean, any one of Nico Price's knockouts, right? You have that crazy one on the back with a hammer fist from the bottom, or his insane upkick on James Vick. I think those two are also crazy. Those were a little bit more strange than this one. Was a lot more athletic. And also the other thing I found really interesting, Buckley doesn't do Taekwondo, right? He's not a Taekwondo, and he's throwing. And he's 185er, right? He's a middleweight, and he looks like he's built like Mike Tyson. Like, this does not look like a guy who has the flexibility and the ability to throw a spinning back kick to your head.
Sometimes you just got to go for it. We're talking all-time great knockouts, though, so you can't talk about that while ignoring Machida's front kick to the face.
Or Anderson's.
Anderson's. Yes, those front kicks to the face. Will they ever be pulled off? Will they ever be pulled off like they were back in the old days?
Or how about
fall for that again?
Joanna hit it on Michelle Watterson, and Donald Cerrone hit it on.
Donald. Yeah, that was great.
But I was gonna say,
always fun to watch those.
You can't talk all-time knockouts without Francis Ngannou, Alistair Overeem.
Oh, of course.
Or now this is one that hurts me a little bit. I didn't even see it live, but I'm just such a big fan of the guy.
I know what you're about to say.
What am I gonna say?
You're thinking Bisping Hendo, huh?
I'm thinking Bisping Hendo, boys.
Ooh.
That's a bad one. That one, especially when I read the book, I read Bisping's book, and he talks about how, like, in the book, he has this thing. He has a little bit of, we booked the fight, we filmed the Ultimate Fighter. Then you turn the page, and he's like, I'm in the shower. My head kind of hurts. I step out and say, hey, and the guys are looking at me sadly, and I say, what's going on? And they're like, hey, you just, when's the fight? Like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but basically he comes out and he's like, hey guys, when's the fight? They're like, the fight just happened. He's like, what do you mean? I'm not fighting for another 2 months, or I'm not fighting until February or something. And they're like, it is February. You just fought and got knocked out.
Yes.
Like, he lost months. It was.
That's uncomfortable to hear.
Like, it was really bad because
and he lost his eyeball.
He said he went like 4 or 5 times, and he's like, hey guys, like, what's going on? They're like, hey dude, just got knocked out. Like, he kept on going back, and he thought the fight wasn't for another few months. It's remarkable that he is as eloquent as he is today, because that is some severe brain damage. And it wasn't the only knockout he suffered, but and of course the eye damage that he took off that Vanderlei Silva head kick. But Ugh. Oh, and of course, Edson Barbosa, Terry Edem, all-time great. Yeah,
I mean, I think that this is going to join the ranks. I mean, this is going to be shown on clips for years to come. I mean, honestly, give it some time. This may even end up being looked back at as the most spectacular knockout in at least recent history.
I would say 2020, but I wouldn't say all-time. And
it's going to be held. I think it's easily getting held up with the all-time.
I just realized my favorite knockout that I've ever seen live. This is this is above, in my opinion, Masvidal Askren. For different reasons. And that was Yair's crazy back elbow to knock out Korean Zombie. I watched. This is right around the time I started watching UFC. I think this might have been the fourth or fifth full card I have ever watched, like from the beginning to the end. And it was a 5-round war. I didn't know these guys. I found Yair really entertaining. I was just watching, and I thought, I was hoping Yair was winning, and he was losing that fight by the end. 5 rounds. They look at each other with 13 seconds left. They start waving on the crowd. They're like, all right, guys, one more exchange. And with 1 second left, Yair throws a back elbow, and Korean Zombie falls flat on his face, out cold for minutes. It was just one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Knockout brutal of the year.
Yeah, that's a crazy one, 100%.
All right, and I guess you can't go. You can't not mention all the flying knees by Yoel Romero.
Oh yeah,
which are up there as well.
Yeah, Yoel Romero is a living highlight.